I think it's very important for us to understand, I think, the strategic significance of 2024 and what it means. Why are we having the Visit Siem Reap 2024 and Cambodia, China people-to-people exchange year 2024? And we're also pushing to have the Cambodia, India tourism year 2024 as well. So all of this is to, again, I think we want to have more activities with our priority markets. We want to encourage to have more cultural exchanges and people exchanges. And I think throughout this whole process, as I mentioned, we will announce this in the very near future. We will have event calendars, for example, but we have to put this together for Siem Reap, Cambodia, China, and Cambodia, India as well. And all of this will have a lot of the cultural activities, interaction at government to government level, government to private sector level, and we want to encourage private sector to private sector, business to business level as well. So a lot of this engagement, we hope that through the Ministry of Tourism, we can coordinate for this to happen soon. And obviously, you have seen that for people-to-people exchange here for Cambodia and China, we did have an inauguration ceremony in January earlier. And I think it just highlights the level of participation from our counterpart, the level of I think in terms of demonstration of their commitment was through the quality of the performances and the participation from influencers and decision makers who came to Cambodia. So I think these are the type of events that we want to encourage, and we will continue to see, I think, between for our priority year between Cambodia and China, as well as Cambodia and India. So I think in the very near future, you will see and you will hear about a lot of the activities, including from India. I think we've already seen that there's already presence of one of the guru who's here to engage with our community here. And again, I think we will have more activities, cultural exchanges between us and our priority markets. 10 years is a long time. 10 years is a long time. And what we have seen, I think, the geopolitical dynamics, geostrategic landscape of the global community and the regional community especially, is that we should be very pragmatic. We should have a long-term plan, but at the same time, we should be very, very pragmatic about our short and medium motive agendas. And I think at this point in time, it's perhaps quite difficult to predict what the world will look like in the next 10 years. And this will have a tremendous impact on the tourism and travel industry as a whole. But what we have seen is that the global employment is around 350 million for 2023. In the next 10 years, the global community is expecting 110 more millions workforce to be employed within the tourism and travel sector. And I think this to show the significance and the growth of the travel and tourism industry. And the same for Cambodia. I think we have to prepare ourselves for this. So I have mentioned about our vision for Cambodia to be a global destination, reinforcing that with our strategy. In English, we don't call it Bangkan Pram, we call it BUILD. It's an acronym for BUILD. Yeah? So 5 priorities. So it's for branding, unique selling point, inbound design, leveraging on our product endowment, so product diversification, and the last one is developing our competitiveness for our industries. So BUILD, build. Yeah? And I also highlighted the 3 Ds, which is Apiwat Way. So institutional rearrangement, human resource development, and digitization of the tourism sector. So all this is a very significant strategic outlook in terms of what to expect within the next 10 years for our tourism sector. It's perhaps if you ask me to give a number, what am I expecting for the next 10 years, it's very difficult at this point, as we understand that obviously the world will look very different with the advancement of technology, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things. Will have a tremendous, I think, disruption to the growth story of the global growth story, including Asia and ASEAN and the Mekong sub-region. So what we are doing, I think at least at this point, through this strategic outlook, we will ensure that in terms of our bilateral interaction, in terms of our multilateral interaction with the regional partner and global community will be as strategically as possible to make sure that the next 10 years, whatever the world will look like, Cambodia will be there. And we will be as competitive, and we will think through this, as I mentioned within our vision. It is, for Cambodia to become competitive, sustainable, and inclusive at the same time. So these are a very important strategic alignment for us. And I think this conversation will continue within the ASEAN format. Just to note, the ASEAN also, we are also looking at developing the ASEAN tourism strategic plan, 2020, the next 10 years. So 2025 up until 2033, I think that's the number. But the type of discussion that we will have, I think through the Philippines as a coordinator for this, is precisely through what will ASEAN look like in the next 10 years? What will Cambodia will look like in the next 10 years? And we will contribute to this discussion within ASEAN. So, in terms of looking at the strategic priorities, Build plus 3D will ensure that Cambodia will be as competitive and as relevant as a global, as a competitor, I think, when it comes to tourism sector. So this is a very important message, and I hope that, this proactive engagement, I think at many different levels, will ensure that Cambodia will remain to be a global destination that the global community will want to visit, and we want to revisit, enjoying the experience and the memories that they have, especially with our natural world wonder, the Angkor Wat as well.